Hello and welcome to the workout. I am Holly Perkins. I'm so excited that you are here. Today we've got legs, back, and biceps for you. I'm super excited. Now listen, for the workout today, it's gonna be best if you have a handled resistance band attached, anchored somewhere at about the height of your chest. And if you've got a barbell, bring it. You don't need it, but I've got one exercise that's great with a barbell. And if you've got a step or a bench or something to step onto, that would be ideal. I will do my best to give you modifications for each of these if you don't have the apparatus. And if you do, it's gonna be an awesome workout. So as always, we're working in supersets, 2 exercises put back to back with no rest in between. Then we're gonna rest in between each superset. We've got 5 supersets, 4 leg exercises, 2 back exercises. Did I get this right? Nope. Yes, 4 leg, 2 back, and 3 bicep exercises with short rests in between. Now listen, this is a strength workout. Your job is to count 12 repetitions for every single exercise using a weight load where reps number 11 and 12 are challenging. If you can do 15 reps, I want you to pick up some heavier weights. Let's get this party started. Take your feet separated and let's take a big inhale up, letting your hands reach up super high up to the sky. Exhale, do that again 2 more times. Now when your hands come up, really reach, 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 and elongate your spine. Exhale, let's do it one more time. Reach those hands up to activate transverse abdominis. Reach, 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 and relax. I want you to take a big inhale. Exhale. Take your arms up over your head. Take a small inhale. Exhale, and I want you to reach. Actively hold and reach for this isometric contraction, lengthening yourself out from fingertips to ankles as long as you possibly can, stretching up super tall, short little breaths. Reach, 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 reach to activate that transverse abdominis. Relax down. We're gonna do that one more time, but first let's come in to some spinal rotation. Just let your arms naturally flow around you. Ooh, that feels good. Activate your glute on the leg that you're turning away from. So your left glute, your right glute. Activate that glute, squeeze it really hard as you draw inward on your abdomen. So that really just helps to support your spine. I love this move. It just opens you up, gets the blood flow going a little bit, releases any stickiness from your spine, from your torso, from your hips. Oh, it just feels good. Let those arms flow. One more, and let's do our second transverse abdominis reach. Arms up over your head, take a comfortable inhale. Exhale, inhale, and breathe naturally. Just breathe short little breaths. It's a little awkward to breathe here. Imagine you're lengthening out your spine every little teeny tiny millimeter possible. Reach, actively reach, reach, reach. You should feel the muscles of your core fire up. You may feel the muscles in your back. Reach, 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 and relax. I love that exercise because it fires up that abdominal, transverse abdominis muscle, which holds your belly in, keeps it strong and supported for the rest of the workout. Take your feet pretty wide, toes forward, feet parallel to each other, bend your knees, hips reaching back, and let's go side to side, starting a little shallow. As this feels comfortable for you, we'll go a bit deeper. Keep your body weight on your heels. Press into your heels so that your hips are really reaching back. Let's take it deeper. Come down and just sweep across your toe. Throughout today's workout, if you want to move faster than me, go for it. If you need to move slower or take breaks, you are welcomed. No ego, amigo. I got that from the Peloton commercial. If you haven't seen that, it's hilarious. No egos here. If you need to move a little bit more slowly, please do. This is your workout. Your job is to work about 20% harder than where you are today. Heavy on those heels, sit nice and deep, firing up the glutes, bringing a little bit of range of motion and flexibility to the inner thighs, really pushing your hips back. 2 more. And come on up, feet together. Bring your weight over onto one foot. Bend both knees. Find your balance on one leg. make sure the leg that you're standing on, you're keeping that knee slightly bent. Super important to fire up the hamstring. Bend into that knee, and once you find your balance, once you kind of settle in, I want you then to start to look around your space. Keep the knee bent, look around the space. The whole goal of this exercise is for you to throw yourself off balance, okay? Now, I'm pretty good at my balance, so I have to actually look up and around and back behind me to really throw my balance off. But I want you to be looking around, up, down, all around, with your eyeballs and your chin, moving it in space to throw yourself out of balance, off balance, and that fires up all of the muscles of your leg, which is a great functional exercise. Gets the arch warmed up, so good for stability and balance, a little bit of core, looking around, tapping down when you need to catch your balance. And if you are good at this, I want you to look faster, moving around, looking every different direction without rhythm, and relax. Switch sides. If you do that exercise right, the leg that you're standing on should really warm up and start to fire. You might even start to feel some fatigue or some burning in that leg, and you really should have to fight to keep your balance. That's the whole point of this exercise, is for you to counterbalance and have to fight to maintain your balance. That's how you strengthen all of the muscles of your legs and your body and your balance system in general, so that when you need it, you've already trained your body for it. It's also so good for the muscles of the feet, the lower leg, the knees, the hips, the core. Such a great exercise, as silly as it might look if you're just sitting there watching us and not doing it. But it's such a good exercise, looking around, tapping down for balance as you need to. Make sure that you keep that knee slightly bent. 5 more seconds, feeling the arch of your foot really firing. It's so good. And relax. We got one more preparatory exercise. Bring your feet together. I want you to take a big reach up, step back, coming into a runner's lunge, just tapping that back knee down. Step together, other leg. Reach up super tall here when you step together, so that we can pull in that transverse abdominis exercise we did at the beginning. Reach up super tall. Right there, as tall as you can, generating that movement from your core. Core is really pushing your hands up super tall towards your ceiling, letting your back knee release down to the ground for just a brief little tap. I love this move. It gets your front leg activated. So good for the glutes. It opens up the hip flexor of the leg that's back behind you. It also starts to neutralize out what we call a split stance. So whenever one leg is forward and one leg is back, this is one of those moves that's really good to start to balance out and neutralize any asymmetries that you might have, that most of us have, from left to right. Big reach, 2 more. That feels awesome. And relax. Let's get into the workout. So you are gonna need a handled resistance band that is anchored at chest height for this first superset. Let me show you the first 2 exercises and then we'll get started. If you want to move a little bit faster than I am today, you can do a total of 3 supersets for each exercise combination. You're also going to need a stepping surface. First exercise, we've got bench step-ups. You're leading with one leg up, one leg down, left leg up, left leg down for 12 repetitions. Then we'll immediately go to the other leg, leading for 12 repetitions. Second exercise is a Band Lat Row. Feet are next to each other, knees are bent, shoulders are back and down like crazy. Row those elbows back, give me a pause and release. Pause and release. If you've got your body positioning right, you're gonna feel the pressure on this exercise right around the middle of your back, not up in your traps. Are you ready? Let's go. So grab yourself some dumbbells for these step ups. You can certainly do this body weight only if you want, leading with the left and left down. Left up, left down. Please count your 12 repetitions for every single exercise. I see my role here being to lead you, guide you, and teach you. I'm not always counting my repetitions, so I am not to be trusted. I want you to count your reps. You're a big girl. Make sure on exercises like this, which are unilateral, you want to make sure absolutely that you're getting 12 reps on each leg, because you want to do the same amount of work on both sides. And let's switch sides, other leg. Now, if you don't have a stepping surface, you could even just use a step, like a living room step, something that's maybe not even as high. You could use a chair, stand up super tall. This is an exercise that's actually pretty hard to modify. And I'll be honest with you, this is such an important exercise for every single woman to be doing, every single human, really. This is what we call a level change exercise. You're changing the level of your body, stepping and pressing upward. One more, and let's go into that Band Lat Row. So on these level change exercises, there aren't many of them. There's really only one. And it's such an important exercise because it is what really reinforces your ability to go up and down stairs. Feet together, knees bent, shoulders back and down like crazy. Pull those elbows back. Give me a pause. 12 reps. If this is comfortable, you're gonna step farther away from your attachment point. If it's too hard and you're not able to pause here, I want you to move just a hair closer to your attachment point. Now you can always get a harder resistance band, but that's an easy way to just change your intensity here during the set if you only have one resistance band. Love this exercise. Love, love, love it. So good for the upper back. One more and relax. We're gonna take a short break. That is our first combination, our first superset. We're gonna do it again. Now listen, if you want a harder workout today, you're gonna reduce your rest and do 3 total supersets, even though we'll be doing 2. Oh, by the way, I am filming this live. I got a bunch of friends with me here today. If you ever wanna join us for a live workout, visit me on my website, hollyperkins.com/free workout, or you could look up or look down and there's probably a link somewhere on this page if you're watching it in playback. Short little rest. That's so that you can recycle your energy. So when we go back for our second set, you're warmed up, you've got renewed energy, and you can work harder. So let's go. Second set. If that first set was comfortable, I encourage you to pick up some heavier dumbbells. Now listen, if you've got a barbell and you've got the space, you could even do this exercise with a barbell. Optional. Dumbbells at your sides or at your shoulders. It's up to you, whichever feels more productive. 12 reps on that left leg up, left leg down. This is called cycling or leading. There's lots of different ways you can do step-ups. I'm sure you've seen a lot of the variations out there, and there's values for each one of them. I love this one because it's really the one that mimics most what would happen if you were climbing a flight of stairs or going down a flight of stairs. It focuses on one side of the body at a time. Like I said, it's an asymmetric exercise. We got 2 more, and then we're gonna switch sides. Make sure at the top of the move, you are fully standing up. There's a tendency, I see it all the time on this exercise, where to make it a little easier, people kind of crouch down and they keep their body weight kind of low, okay? Because what that does is that shortens the lever of your body and it makes it easier. I want you standing super tall. Imagine there's a string on the top of your head and it's lifting you here to make you super tall long spine, perfect posture. 12 reps, and let's go into that band lat row. Again, depending on, please continue, guys. My technology is giving me some struggles. Are we still here? We are still here. Okay, depending on your band and how hard you're working today, step closer or farther from your band attachment, okay? Take that step back. If your band is super challenging, heavy or hard, you can come to a split squat stance position, and that just gives you a little bit more leverage if your band is super challenging. Otherwise, I really like feet together because that teaches you to have to counterbalance. It keeps you a bit more symmetric from left to right. And it also really forces you to use your core to stabilize your balance here. So I love feet together, but if you are working on building muscle and you've got a super heavy band, you're gonna have to go into a split squat. So when I use my blue band, I have to come to a split squat because I just can't pull against it. Short little break. Let me show you the next two exercises for the next superset. You can certainly repeat a third round of that superset that we just finished. Next one is a doozy. Two options. We're gonna be doing a Bulgarian split squat, but if for whatever reason Bulgarian split squat doesn't work for you, you can do an assisted split squat in place as compared to a Bulgarian split squat. Feet together, bend your knees. Keep the front knee soft. We're coming straight down, pressing into the heel. Dumbbells or not, if you're new or if this is a challenging exercise for you, place your hands on your front knee. And listen, really and truly, no shame in your game if you're doing body weight only and you need to give yourself a little bit of assistance. Totally cool. Bent over row, option number one is with dumbbells. Feet together, knees bent, shoulders back and down, rowing those elbows back and up, keeping your shoulder blades pressing towards your hips. If you've got a barbell, we're gonna do a proper barbell bent over row. Hands begin directly under your shoulders, feet together, knees bent, barbell in front of your knees. Same movement, but with a barbell. If you've got a barbell, grab it. I absolutely love this exercise, but dumbbells are fine too. Let's do it. Bulgarian split squat or split squat at level, if that's better for you. Feet together, grab some dumbbells if that's right for your fitness level today. Feet together, keep that front knee bent. You can tuck your toe or point your toe in the back, whichever feels most productive and natural for you. 12 reps. Now, you do want to stay upright with your torso, but there's a bit of a forward lean here. You're not perfectly upright, not perfectly straight up and down. There is a bit of a forward lean because this is a front leg exercise. We want your weight load to be over and on the front heel. And that really does work best if you have a little bit of a forward lean. And that forward lean also helps to put more of the work on the glutes, less on the quads. Now, I specialize in strength training for women, and in my experience of now 30 years, the vast majority of women are already in a situation of quad dominance, meaning your quads are overly strong in relation to your hamstrings. Now, your quadriceps are supposed to be stronger than your hamstrings, but really at about a ratio of 4 to 3, meaning quadriceps are about 4 times stronger as compared to the hamstrings at 3, okay? That being said, in my experience, a lot of women are way overly dominant on their quadriceps. And this is also industry fact. You can look this up. This has been proven a million times in research. And so one of the best ways to get out of that quad dominance is to fire up the glutes and the hamstrings. That's why I like a bit of a forward lean on Bulgarian split squat. Bent over row, dumbbells or barbell, whichever works best for you. I'm going for the barbell because I love me a bent over row with barbell. Feet together, knees bent, neutral, natural curvature in your lower back. Depending on your weight load, you're gonna pause for a beat, pause. Now, if you read my book, Lift to Get Lean, you know I am all about that pause because it really helps to load the muscle. It really helps to make sure that your body is in a little bit better alignment, and it improves that time under tension, which is a great way to get stronger without necessarily making your muscles bigger. Now listen, some women want bigger muscles, and the truth is, I want every single woman out there to work on improving their lean muscle mass size. So I'm all about building the muscle, but I know a lot of other women are not. That pause helps to improve your strength, your technique, the quality of the set, without necessarily making the muscle bigger. Short break, and then we repeat these two moves again, or even a third time if you want. Keep your feet moving during these breaks. Even if you think you don't need the break, I want you to take at least 10 to 20 seconds so that you can just catch your breath, let your body recover, because your sets really should be challenging to the degree that you want this little bit of a break. That's the whole goal. So if you kind of feel like you don't need a break, I want you to work harder by using heavier weight loads. Don't move faster, don't do more reps, heavier weight load. Okay, let's go. Second set, Bulgarian split squat with or without resistance, whichever feels best for you today. Remember, your job is to work about 20% harder today than where you are. So where your fitness level is, where your energy is, where your mood is. 20% harder today, and that's about it. 12 reps, really focusing on that front heel. Really trying to keep the pressure off the toe on the front foot, off the toes, and on the front heel. This is a front leg exercise. All of the work really should be happening on this front leg so that you're not leaning or relying on that back leg too much, okay? The back leg is supported on the bench for a reason, but you really do want to put your effort and your muscle into that front leg. And yes, this exercise does take a minute to really get into great position. So you'll notice sometimes I do a couple reps, I reposition my feet. Sometimes you'll lose your balance. Guess what? Totally normal. Pretty much everybody has to reposition, and pretty much everybody will kind of lose their balance a little on this exercise. So one of the most frequent comments I get about this exercise is, I never feel like I can get into just the right position. I never know if I'm in the right position on this exercise. And the truth is, it does just take some practice. Over time, you'll start to learn your positioning. So just reposition until you get into the place where it really feels good. Bent over row. I'll do it with dumbbells on this next set because this is equally effective, just a little different than doing it with your barbell. Feet together, knees bent, palms at your knees. Pull those elbows back and give me a pause at the top. You really do want to try to keep a 90-degree relationship at your chin to your neck. So you might be looking forward to watch me on the monitor, but for this exercise, you really want to keep your head in alignment to your spine. So there's about 90 degrees at your chin to your neck in any exercise you're doing, really technically. Every now and then there's a time we lift the chin or we lower the chin, but in general, we know that the posterior part of the body and the posterior kinetic chain is stronger when your head is in alignment. As soon as your head goes to a different place, we lose a bit of our power and our strength on the posterior kinetic chain. So on a deadlift, a Romanian deadlift, bent over moves, you really want to keep this in alignment so that you've got alignment throughout the rest of your body, but also so that you've got the most amount of strength and power. Okay, that was our second set, right? I think it was. If it was not, somebody let me know if I missed a set, but I think we did 2 full sets. So I'm going to show you the next supersets. Time flies when you're having fun. I literally go into a vortex during these workouts and I'm like, wait a second, did we already do 2 supersets? We did. You are invited to do a 3rd superset of Bulgarian split squat, bent over row if you want. Let me show you the next combination of exercises. The next superset, we've got a goblet squat and a lying dumbbell pullover. Lying dumbbell pullover can be done on the ground. I will demonstrate both. Goblet squat, toes are turned open about 30 degrees. Heels are under the width of your shoulders. So if you've got wider shoulders, your heels should be a bit wider. So heels, shoulder width, toes turned out. Your weight stays in contact with your upper chest, and then you sit until your hips are below your knees. Hips are below your knees, but your chest is up. It really is largely more of an upright position as compared to a bending over, okay? Lying dumbbell pullover, you can do the same exact movement on the floor. I'm gonna demonstrate on the bench. If you've got a bench or something to sit onto, I definitely like it better on the bench. Dumbbell straight up over your chest, shoulders pushing to your hips. Really conscientiously push your shoulders to your hips. It's super, super, super important, especially right here. Shoulders towards your hips, not shoulders reaching up away from your body. Super important, cool? All right, what do you say we do it? Goblet squat. This is an exercise that's designed for a heavier weight load. 8, 10, 15, 30-pound dumbbell or kettlebell, whatever you have. Heels shoulder distance, toes turned open, 12 reps. Now, if you are limited by your home exercise equipment, you can do more repetitions here. If you only have a certain amount of weight load right now as you're doing this workout, and if you find that 12 reps are comfortable, then yes, you can do 15 reps, okay? But in the long run, you're gonna get so much more out of this if you increase the weight load so that reps number 11 and 12 really challenge you here. 2 more, abs drawn in, super tall, lying dumbbell pullover on the ground or on an elevated surface, whichever feels right for you. Press your shoulders towards your hips here. Push them down, lock them in place. Super important. Coming up over the head. Oh, it is heaven. Let me tell you, this baby is probably in the top 5 of my favorite exercises, of the exercises that I think are most important for everyone to be doing. It is an incredible exercise when you get your technique right. And part of the technique, a big part of getting your technique right, is anchoring your shoulders back and down, back and down, back and down, back and down. Shoulders back and down, oh yes. I have a bracelet with that monogrammed on it. Thank you, Erin. Shoulders back and down. So shoulders back, meaning moving towards the bench. Shoulders down, meaning pushing towards your hips, especially right here. 12 reps, and let's take a short break before our second set. If you learn nothing else from me in our short time together, I want you to learn the importance of shoulders back and down. And that's because your shoulders really are supposed to be back in space and down towards your hips. And doesn't that look a whole lot better than this? Sure does. And the same applies to when you're doing exercises. Here versus here, you can see the value. Your shoulder girdle should always be anchoring down towards your hips because that's what fires up your lats and your core. It keeps the work out of your traps, it keeps your neck happy, and it keeps your shoulders healthy. Short break, and then we go into our second set. Goblet, lying dumbbell pullover. And then we got 2 more super sets after this. Okay, you ready? Goblet squat. So listen, if that goblet squat was not challenging for you, figure out a way to give yourself a little bit more weight. Now, I am limited with my 10-pound dumbbells. I don't have anything heavier right now. So I'm just gonna crisscross a 5-pound dumbbell with it to give myself 15 pounds. Get creative until you're able to get your hands on more dumbbells. Yes, it's a little awkward. Yes, it's a little clunky, but guess what? It's worth it and you can figure it out. Squeeze your glutes at the top, chest is up. Super tall, chest is up. So for whatever reason today, my right knee is very talkative. Almost every single rep, let's see if you can hear it. It cracks right here, hear it? Every single repetition. Just today, just normally do it. By the way, that's totally normal if you have noisy joints, as long as you don't have any associated pain. 12 reps, squeeze your glutes at the top, and let's go to that lying dumbbell pullover. In a perfect world, you'd be at least at 15 pounds on this exercise. Actually, that's not a perfect world. In a perfect world, you'd be at about 25 or 30 pounds on this exercise. But at a bare minimum, I want all of the women in my community to work up to being able to do this exercise with at least 15 pounds, okay? It really is a benchmark. It's a foundation. And for some of you, 15 pounds might feel a little scary on this exercise. I know in the past, my clients have expressed that to me. Just remember, your hands are strong. Your hands are in charge of that dumbbell. And this is actually a big muscle group here. This is your lats and your triceps and a little bit of chest. You got 3 big muscle groups helping you on this exercise. Actually 4 because your core is helping you as well. So you're stronger than you realize on this exercise, and your capability is a lot more on that exercise than you realize. That exercise will change your life as you get stronger at it. It's so good for upper body function, shoulder health. It's great for the tricep jiggle. It's great to tone your core. So I really encourage you to work on your strength over time with that exercise. Again, doing it on the floor is awesome too. Next superset, let me show you. We've got a plie squat, and we've got one of my favorite band bicep exercises. This is the other exercise where you're going to need your resistance band attached somewhere solid at the height of your chest or belly. First exercise, plie squat. This one too really is designed to be a stronger movement pattern with a heavier weight load. So aim for at least 10 pounds. This time your feet are wider and your toes are turned open, more than that goblet squat, and we are going straight down and straight up, squeezing the glutes at the top. So the difference here is that the weight is below you and you've got just a hair more of a forward bend at the bottom. Knees are going more out to the side, not a 45-degree angle in front of you. Second exercise, bent over, bicep curl with the band. So your band is attached to a surface behind you, okay? Band is attached behind you, all right? 1 foot forward, most likely, but you can certainly try with feet together. And you're gonna bring yourself into a bent over position with a little bit of arch in your back, and then you're coming into a bicep curl right here. Keeping your upper arm stable in place. We don't want your upper arm to move a whole lot, okay? So again, your band, my band is exactly at this height against the wall, and that really does tend to work for most people. So it's technically about sternum height is ideal for most people. All right, you ready? Plie squat. Once again, if you're stronger than your home weight loads, pick up 2 dumbbells, put on a weight vest, figure out a way to make this exercise a bit more challenging. 12 reps, please count your reps for me. And yes, like I said before, holding more than 1 dumbbell can be a little awkward, absolutely. But eventually you'll find the position where you're really able to just let those weights hang below you, keeping your body weight on your heels. Booty is back a little, but your knees are pressing outward at about, I would say, 30 degrees from the alignment of your body. So 30 degrees forward from the wall behind you, if you can think of it that way. Whereas a goblet squat is more like 45 degrees to almost 60 degrees forward, okay? So your toes are almost in a full turnout, but not completely. Okay, bent over bicep curl. Now certainly, if you don't like this exercise, you can do a basic bicep curl with dumbbells or a band, but this is just a really awesome variation. And if you haven't done it before, try it. Oh, it feels so good on the biceps, it's amazing. Feet together or staggered, whichever feels better. So you're bending at your hips, but shoulders back and down, okay? So shoulders are back and down, meaning shoulders are still anchoring towards your hips. So down is relative. Down is always away from your ears, down towards your hips. And when you get this baby in the right position, she's a doozy. Oh, it's so good. It is a doozy. This is all biceps, you guys. You almost can't cheat this exercise. You almost can't. This is all biceps. And what's so amazing is right there, you're getting the maximum resistance from that band. That takes it out of me more than any of the other exercises that we've done. That is such a good move when you can really get your shoulders back and down, and then you keep your upper arm stable in place. Don't let your upper arm move. Keep it in place. Such a good one. Short little break. Grab a sip of water, turn up your music, keep your feet going, and get ready for our second set. Plie set. Back into that bicep. Am I doing it? Yes, this is our second set, our full second set. Sometimes when I do the demonstration set, I kind of get lost in that vortex, and I think we've already done both the sets, but this is our second working set. So your plie squat, if that first set of plie was doable, figure out a way to make it harder. You can go lower, you can move slower, you can pause at the bottom. There's a whole lot you can do to make this exercise harder. And of course, ultimately, I want you to get heavier resistance. Let's do it. 12 reps. Toes are almost in a full turnout. Hips are slightly wider than your shoulders. Straight down, squeeze your glutes at the top. And as always, shoulders back and down, right? Work on that. At the top, right here, if you get shoulders back and down, holy moly, it becomes an upper body exercise also. That feels amazing, especially if you're someone who sits a lot, sits at a computer all day long, which I think is a lot of us these days. Really working your end position here, where shoulders back and down and chest lifted, is so neutralizing for those of us that spend a lot of time at the computer. You might be surprised, but I do spend the majority of my day behind a computer, even though fitness and strength training is my focus. A lot of my work's on the computer, which I don't love. Shoulders back and down, lock them in place, even before we go on this next exercise. Make sure with your resistance band that you've got equidistant from the anchor between your hands, right? Because you want both hands to have the same amount of workload. Knees bent, feet together. You can stagger them, shoulders back and down, and here we go. Keep your upper arm at the same relationship to your body without too much movement. Now there's gonna be a little bit of movement. You're not a robot. There's a little bit of movement, but your job is to minimize too much change in the angle of that upper arm. 12 reps should be hard. Use your breath. Keep 90 degrees at your chin, right? Head in alignment. Oh yeah, one more. Make those arms look awesome. Short break, walk it out. Grab a sip of water. Let me demonstrate our last combination of 2 exercises, our last superset. We've got a 45-degree dumbbell hammer curl. Last exercise, we've got, this is a doozy. We've got 2 bicep exercises back to back. Technically 3 if you want to include that last set. So it's 3 bicep exercises in a row. Next superset, feet together, knees bent. You're gonna start with your dumbbells. Whoa, my biceps are pooped, you guys. Wow. You're gonna start with your elbows at about a 90-degree angle. Then you're gonna open out to 45 degrees from your body, and then it's a hammer curl. Shoulders back and down, shoulders back and down. Puts the work on the biceps like crazy. 45-degree hammer curl. Last exercise is a seated concentration curl. You can certainly do this on any seated surface. A chair works fine. Elbow on the inner thigh, locking off that elbow in space. This is such a good exercise because it literally doesn't allow you to move your whole upper arm, and it puts the entire load on the biceps. So because of that, on this exercise, you might actually need to go a little lighter because all of the work is just on your biceps, a little bit of shoulder, but 90% of the work is on the biceps here. And so when we're concentrating it like that, you might have to go a hair lighter than what you might do on the first exercise. So let's go, 45-degree hammer curl. Hammer curl just means your palms are facing each other. I love it because it makes your biceps look gorgeous. Shoulders back and down. Come to 90 degrees, open out to 45 degrees. All these mathematics, you guys. Okay, hammer curl, here we go. You know, the funny thing is, I loved algebra in high school. Loved it. It was like a puzzle. It's so much fun. For a brief minute, I thought I would be a mathematician. Can you imagine me, a mathematician? What a waste of a talent. But part of the thing that I love about strength training is it's mathematics and physics at play. So it's all about strengthening and working with resistance around gravity. So it's all based on the lever lengths of your arms, your body, your shoulders, your legs, everything. And so it really is about learning and working your movements against gravity. And it matters because when you've got perfect alignment in everything that you do, you're reinforcing alignment up and down throughout your body to avoid injury, to improve the way your muscles look, to improve the way your muscles function. So technique really is, it's everything. Again, if you read my book, Lift to Get Lean, the first step to strength in my 3 steps to strength is that technique trumps everything. It's why it's step number 1. Technique is everything. You can get so much more out of every single exercise if your technique is perfect. You know, anytime I've really gotten my body into peak physical performance, you'd be surprised. I wasn't actually doing very heavy weight loads, but it's because I put all of my attention into perfect technique, because then the muscles change so much more effectively that way. Okay, concentration curl, you finish one set, go right to the other set. Again, 12 reps should be hard, and if it's not, you need a heavier dumbbell. If you don't have a heavier dumbbell, give me a pause right here and relax down. Pause, relax down. That increases the time under tension of the muscle. It fatigues the muscle, and it, in essence, gives you a relatively heavier weight load. So if I'm doing an 8-pound dumbbell right here and I add a big pause, that's the equivalent, the relational equivalent to doing a heavier dumbbell. Short little break, and we got one more set. Tell me how great your arms feel. Woo! Right? Yeah, your arms are gonna look awesome tomorrow. Short break, and then we repeat hammer curl into concentration curl. It's a good one. And as always, if you want to do 3 supersets, go for it. And if you need to take little breaks during this workout, that's cool too. I have a variety of fitness levels in my community. I've got people who are newer on their strength training journey, people who are coming back from injuries, people who are just beginning their exercise journey in general. And then I got some bomb.com athletes in my community. So wherever you are, your job is just to challenge yourself 20% more than where you are today. Really and truly, no ego needed, no shame in your game as long as you are showing up and doing your best. Here we go, second set. Shoulders back and down, coming to 90 degrees, coming out to 45 degrees, and let's go. 12 reps, I call this one because it's your first full rep, okay? There's 2. Again, if you're limited by your home equipment, you can add a pause right here. You want to add a pause at the point of maximal contraction where it would be hard to pause. So it wouldn't be so hard to pause right here. Now would it? We could hang out here all day. Not so hard, but it would be hard to pause right there. So you add your pause always at the point of transition here where it would be hardest to pause. And when you do this right, it's a lot of biceps. Wowza. You are gonna get some shoulders. But holy moly, it's a lot on those biceps. Okay, going right into concentration curl. Elbow is against the inside of the leg and still shoulders back and down. So this one's hard because you're in a forward position, right? But you still wanna get that shoulder back in space. Otherwise, what I see a lot is people come to here. I see this a lot, and you can see how my shoulder is out of its socket, basically. You want that shoulder back into its socket, into its ideal position, so that not only are we strengthening the biceps, but by putting your shoulders back and down, you're also strengthening all of the little muscles around the shoulder to keep the shoulder healthy so that in another time in your life, you'll avoid injury. The whole point of a workout, really, from my perspective, is to reinforce your good body so that it supports you out in your life. I'm all about helping you build the body that you need to keep up with the life that you love. And so all of these positioning cues aren't just to make your biceps look better, but even a bicep exercise like this, if you do it right, we're actually improving the integrity of your shoulder joint so that your shoulder is healthier when you're out throwing ball with your kids or your frisbee with your dog or picking your grandchildren up over your head or picking up heavy groceries, whatever it may be. By doing this with proper alignment, you're improving the integrity of the shoulder while we're also making your biceps look nice. Because we also want to look good too. So give me that pause if you need it right there. If your weight load is comfortable, if your weight load's not challenging. So I'm in between weight loads on this exercise today. 5s are easy, 8s are hards. So I'm just giving a little bit more of an isometric contraction right there at the top. Big squeeze to make the exercise a bit harder. And relax. And that is it. Let me take you through a couple of cool down exercises. And certainly if you want to do a 3rd set of any or all of those supersets, please go for it. Let's take a big inhale up. If you're watching this in playback, I invite you to join us for a live workout because after the workout, there's another workout. We're gonna be doing our walking lunge mini workshop. So if you want to workshop your walking lunges, join us for a live workout because I don't record it. Just go to hollyperkins.com/free workout. Okay, take your arms up over your head, big inhale, exhale, bring your hands behind your head, press your elbows back, lift your chest. Really press your elbows back. Opening the chest. It's okay if you've got a little bit of an arch in your lower back here. I really want you to open your chest, drawing your shoulder blades together towards each other. Good, right? And relax. Bring your arm across your chest, but keep it nice and low. Nice and low. Pulling your arm in towards your body here and also pushing out in that direction. Shoulder is down, it's not elevated. Down right across the middle of your chest, just to stretch out the shoulder a little bit. And relax, same thing on the other side. Draw it in and press out that way. Shoulder, I'm sorry, it's probably gonna affect my microphone. So sometimes when my arms are up here, if I'm kind of funny position, it's because I'm trying to keep my microphone audible, but also without making any rustling sounds. So really draw in towards your body, shoulder pressing down. And relax. Okay, take a big inhale, feet together. Keep your knees soft. I want you to take a big inhale. Exhale, and I want you to just kind of come into a forward fold. You can bring your hands to your legs. You can bend your knees. If you're flexible, bring your hands all the way to the ground. I just want you to come into whatever forward fold is right for you. Hands can be on your shins with straight arms. You can even take your hands to a chair or a surface if you want. I just want you to come into a little bit of a forward bend just to bring a little bit of a natural lengthening to the hamstrings. Don't worry too much about your technique. I just want you safe. So I'm not too worried. As long as this is comfortable, as long as this is just kind of an easy, gentle, natural stretch wherever you feel it. If you feel it in your back, if you feel it in your hamstrings, just something natural and comfortable. Now, bend your knees, slowly roll up, lift your knees 4 times, pat your head, rub your tummy. Just kidding. Now we're gonna do quadricep stretch. So if you want to find something to stabilize yourself for balance, please do so. But you're gonna bring your heel up back behind. If you can grab around the top of your foot, that's ideal. But you can grab the heel of your shoe, your pant leg, grab a bathrobe belt, whatever you need. And then I want you to tuck your pelvis under, right? Of the leg that you're stretching, tuck your pelvis under. And if you do this, you're actually gonna feel a stretch in your hamstring. It's pretty cool. So pelvis gets tucked under, and with that tucked pelvis, keep it, but draw the knee back so that when you look down, your pelvis is tucked under, but your bent knee is next to or behind your standing knee. That's how you stretch your quadriceps. And every single woman should be doing it every single day for the rest of her life. For real, that is a blanket statement that applies to, I have never in 30 years met a woman who has sufficiently flexible quadriceps, unless she's a physical therapist or a professional, maybe, right? But I haven't met too many of them. Even my quads are tight. Okay, so super important every single exercise, every single day. Tuck your pelvis, pull the knee back, so that you get that awesome, awesome stretch. You should feel it the whole, I feel this all the way from my hip, technically down to my toe, believe it or not, but you really should feel it all the way from your hip down below your knee, because that's where how long your quadriceps are, some of the quadriceps muscles. Quadriceps, there's 4 muscles that collectively make up your quadriceps. So some of them are longer than others, but one of them starts all the way up here and goes all the way below the knee. So that's why we have to make sure the hip and the knee are involved. Okay, big inhale up. Exhale it out. Let's just come to a couple spinal twists, and then I will send you off to enjoy your day. Thank you for working out with me. That was so much fun. If you love this workout, please let me know. Comment if you're watching this in playback, in a recording, and I hope you'll join us for a live workout one of these days. Oh, doesn't that feel so good? So good, so good, so good. One last big inhale. Exhale it out. Have an awesome day, and I will see you next time.